Okay guys, you're going to notice a number of changes to this episode relative to the others that I've done about the bees. And the reason is because the last couple of times that I have come out here, in fact the last 3 times, the new bees, the swamp rats, when I've opened up the hive, a bee has immediately come out and stung me in the face. And then I've been stung on my gloves by them, and they're very aggressive, just banging off of me and that sort of thing. And my mentor told me that as you hit the dearth and as things get a little tougher, they will become just more, sort of aggressive. And so the truly Italian bees, I don't know that these, the second one, I think maybe technically they're Italian bees. I'm not sure, but they definitely have a totally different personality than the first beehive. The first hive, while more agitated than they were early on, are still not aggressive. You can open them up. They maybe come up and look at you and that sort of thing, but they're not bouncing off of you, and I've never been stung by them. But the swamp rats, and they may be doing it because I call them swamp rats. There may be a little bit of, feelings there about that. But today, it's really important because the last time, they were so aggressive that they ran me out of the place, in all honesty. So I just basically, checked them out. I've actually put sugar water in there. That's what I was going to do. And they just ran me off of the place. And I just had to, that little barrier, the false wall, I had to basically just slam it up there. God knows how many of them I killed in the process of doing that. But I could care less at that point. They were really aggressive. So now, in the hive beetles, right? I haven't been able to check the hive beetles because if I open up the hive, they go crazy. So I'm still in shorts. They could sting my legs and stuff if they really get that aggressive. But I think this top piece will be fine. This is where they seem to just swarm around my face. Anyway, so today I have a number of things. I've got to get in there and actually look at each one of the frames, see what they're doing. I have to move those converted Langstroth frames out away from one of the viewers gave me comments. It was really helpful as far as saying, hey, listen, you got to move those Langstroth frames out in a way to the edge of the hive so that they'll just store honey in it and they won't keep trying to use it. So I was not aware of that. My mentor is a Langstroth, not a Layens guy, so that may be a conversion piece that I, missed or didn't know about or whatever, but I'm going to try to do that. I'm going to look for the hive beetles and see what's going on with those, and then I'm going to obviously check what the status is of honey and brood and all that sort of thing. And then I'm going to give them sugar water, and I'm going to tighten them up nice. And then I'm going to leave them alone until it is time to basically settle them down for winter. And of course now is just into August, so that's a ways. I'll probably get in here after that, but I'm hoping to try to not to. Right now it is very hot. This placement is great during the early part of the season and everything. They seem to be great, but they have just been bearding up, and that is from heat. So what I'll show you first time I open it up, there's something, I'm sorry. When I open it up, I will show you what the status is inside the hive, and you're going to see that both of them have kind of poured into that open space next to it, I think just to kind of cool things down some. But yeah, they're both definitely showing the signs of the heat. So up here on this very shiny and sunny hill. Okay? Okay guys, I don't know how well you can see me, but like I said, today's going to be quite a bit different from what you've seen in the past with me. Not only I'm wearing the covering, but I'm using smoke, and I had said before that I have kind of gone away from the smoke because it does seem to agitate them quite a bit. But I think in this instance, because when these guys are so hot, they move over into this empty cavity. I think if I can sort of move them away from there, I can preserve life and limb when I try to pull that divider out, not of mine, but of theirs, because they like to get right around the divider, and then I end up crushing too many bees. So I'm going to use this, but boy, let me show you real quick just what the heat, how they react to the heat. Probably a bunch of bees on the top here. Not too many that time. So this is what it looks like. They get up on here. They get up in here. Now you wonder, what is this? Well, what's happened is that I have the Hive Beetles, and so I looked on YouTube like everybody else, and there was a great channel that showed that the Hive Beetles get stuck in this, and these may be Hive Beetles, these little ones. Baby Hive Beetles. Anyway, they get stuck in the Swiffer trap and lock sheets. And so that's what those are. This little container, this little top right here is over the sugar water, but I know it's empty, so I'm not even going to look at it. You can see all the bees that are there, and that's nothing compared to when I open this up. But I'm just going to give them a shot of smoke to try to preserve some of these guys, because in all honesty, this is where I have felt like I've sort of devastated them. Look at, they're hardly reacting to the smoke. It's interesting. Yeah, see that when I pull up the angle, that's when you hear the crunch of the bees. There have been a lot of bees on this board the last couple times I took them out. This is less, but there's still a few. But I feel like when I crush one, you can see here what I'm talking about. When I crush one, then I don't know if they give off a pheromone or something that says, hey, something's attacking us, but they seem to get more aggressive. This thing doesn't want to really stay lit today. I don't know what the problem is. Let me get back to you. All right, so we will put some smoke down in here. See, that just agitates them. I mean, yeah, theoretically they kind of go back in the hive, but frankly, they don't really seem to go back in the hive as much. That's why I gave up on this thing. But so let's just check out what's going on in the hive, right? Ooh, there you go. Now you've got some. We'll put them over on this side because, oh yeah, see, when I closed it the last time, look how many I crushed. Really upsetting. Up against here, see, they get in that space. But you can still see, these guys are still quite docile. They've gone through all of their food, as you can see. So I will fill that back up because I really want them to be, neither of the hives seem to be growing, and I really want them, look, this is exactly how it was. That was weeks ago, and they haven't even built any comb on this. So, and in fact, it almost seems like there's less bees because, well, they're probably outside because of the heat. But last time this was all covered at least. Now, of course, this has nothing on it. They haven't even been building comb on it, even with being given food. So we'll just set this down here. Next one, again, doesn't even appear to be building comb, even though they've had food. Nope, not building comb on that side either. And not bearding either, as though they're looking to build comb. Here they are building some comb. All right, so they still have two frames that they haven't done anything to. Sorry, I'm a little sniffly. Today is my 4th day of COVID. All right, so here, fortunately, I'm sort of happy. I don't see a bunch of hive beetles. I mean, admittedly, the hive beetles were only in the last frame the last time, but naturally, I would have assumed that they would have grown in number and been more widespread. I don't see them. I do believe I see a lot of black spots on the Swiffer. It's hard to tell whether that's like propolis or other just material, or whether it's actually hive beetles, because hive beetles, if they're adult, they're a pretty good size, and those don't seem to be that. Okay. Oh, there's a hive beetle. See it? That just dropped into the bottom. See it running? So here they have capped honey. That's actually exactly what I'm looking for on these outer frames. So that makes me happy. I mean, in the sense that I was hoping that they would build capped honey out here. Take this out. I don't see that this is really doing much, to tell you the truth, boys. Oh, did you just see that bee grabbed a hold of that, what appeared to be a dead hive beetle? Now this is one of our frames. It is a Layens frame that I put the starter honeycomb in, and they have built it out. And this appears to be, to me, to be beer bred, and this appears to be brood. It doesn't appear to be drone brood, so that's good. And we don't see anything as far as superseded, like cells here, or anything, anything on the bottom here that would suggest queen cells. So that would theoretically mean that they're pretty content with the space that they have, which they should be, frankly. A little bit worried about that right there. I want to make sure that that is not the queen, because this is brood. So I have to be very careful with pulling this out. This looks like the latest brood, so chances are the queen is on this frame somewhere. And boy, we do not want to be hurting her. This one right here looks like it has a very long thorax. I'm thinking it is possible that that is the queen. I just want to be very careful. As you well know, my theory, as in all bee keepers' theory, is a nice symbiotic relationship in which they don't see me as a threat. They're familiar. Boy, look how that has come down. In fact, you know what this is? This is really exciting. So you can see from the bottom that this was a 3-inch starter. This was only a starter to here. This wasn't a full frame. I thought this was a full frame, but you can tell by the bottom that they've built that down through there. Oh, isn't that cool? Isn't that neat? Still looking for the queen. I see capped brood. I see them tending to the brood cells. I do see the white spots, but I can't tell if that's larva or whether that is just the bright light shining through the backside of the cell. It's a little difficult right now to see that. See this, just one aggressive bee. She's just watching out for her mates. I don't have a problem with that, of course. Okay, this would be the 5th frame from the end. The first 2 being with 3-inch comb starters and occupied but untouched, really. The next frame they were building comb off of and had put some capped honey in that, on that frame. This frame appears to have some bee bread, and then the rest of it is almost all uncapped honey. Again, the queen could be here if there's brood on the other side of this frame. Okay, again, I do apologize a bit for the sniffles. If you didn't hear me the first time, I'm on my 4th day of COVID, and so I'm still a little sniffly. Need to be careful pulling these out because we are deep into the hive, and the queen could be on any one of these cells. Look at the beard, look at the bees bearding at the bottom. That's not queen cell activity or anything. That is either building comb, which of course we don't want them to do on the underside of a frame, or it's heat. Or it is them managing heat, which it probably is, because they're probably moving the air around in the bottom of the box because of the heat. And you can see, because of those old Langstroth frames in there, that there's sort of a blockage of air through there. So it looks like we are so far down on the brood cycle now on that frame right there that I will be removing those today, and that would make me very happy. You see that? They didn't like that. Okay, see, they did not like that movement of the frame. Like I said, they are more agitated than normal because of, according to my mentor, because of the time of year. This, oh no, I'm just looking for the queen, guys. But you can see this is all brood, so chance of her being here. I'm looking for eggs, looking through. A bee, I believe, trying to sting my thing. That might be, I don't know. That would be the first time these guys have done that. Okay, as you know, we're very deep into the hive now because these were the original Langstroth frames. These 2 frames were the original Langstroths. So they had all the brood and some of the honey on them. They've got them locked in pretty good with the propolis. at a minimum, I'm going to move these to the very outside edge of the hive. But frankly, they're clear, and I'd like to get all these bees off of here. I was able to do that by banging them previously, but they're so agitated that I do wonder, frankly, if I wouldn't just cause a big problem if I tried to do that with these guys in this state. Yeah, see this, oh, it's filled with honey. They filled that with honey, so maybe I'll move these just to the outside. The queen should not be on this, frankly, because there is no brood activity going on there. Okay, this is from the blocked end. This would now be the 7th frame in. You can see that there are a total of 9. Also, these are 2 of the Langstroth frames that have been modified to fit in this extended Layens hive. An extension, I mean, for those who haven't been here previously. Here is the traditional Layens hive top, and I've put a 2x4, and then I've put some plywood there to create the lip upon which the top bar sits, as you can see there. Okay, so this one too appears to have honey over on this side and bee bread on this side. The brood has all hatched, which it certainly should have. It was a long time ago. Whoa, it's heavy. Really heavy. I want to set this up here, but I want to make sure that no bees, and particularly the queen, there's no reason for the queen to be on this frame. Okay, now this frame appears to be, again, a brood frame with bee bread at the top of it. So this is a nice, healthy frame. This, I'm suggesting, is going to be where the queen is. It's also the closest to the door, or gate, or whatever you want to call it, to the hive. They've been very okay, but agitated relative to what they normally are so far. So I expect pulling this out and getting that much of the hive out of here is likely to be, again, an irritant, and they may swarm up at me. They're again bearding at the bottom. Again, I believe that is from heat rather than building like queen cells or something. I think they're happy. Happy is a human emotion, but content with the size and construct of their hive. I'm looking for her. It's a little bit difficult with this veil to see. They all seem to be very busy and very, I mean, I don't see little agitation, but not any problem. Okay, so now let's see. Nope, this is all uncapped honey. She was not on that frame that I could see. Oh, wait a minute though. Wait. Here's brand new brood. I mean brand new brood. She's got to be right here. This is brand new. I mean, it's super new. if I could just find her. It would just make me, yeah, there's a new brood all over this with honey, uncapped honey at the top. So she's got to be here. I just can't see anything with this darn veil on. But before I move this or do anything with this, okay, stand by. Okay, guys, so I just can't find the queen, but I can find, look here, you can see there's larvae, and I even found eggs down here at the bottom. So she's got to be right here, but I don't see her. I don't know if she's one of those runners who, when you do this, she loves to run to the other side. I just can't find her, and I'm terrified of putting this box, or putting this frame back in the box, not knowing where she is, and potentially crushing her along the sides. Really concerns me, because, you know, all these bees are so want to. I'm trying to slide it right along the edge. You see what I'm doing? Just trying to slide it along the edge to give them time to run out of the way, so that if she's on there, okay, I really think she's on there. That is all super fresh stuff. In the next and last frame appears to be just honey. These guys have been really forgiving. My other bees will not be this forgiving. They will not be this forgiving. I need to be more efficient, and it's really hard in this veil. I mean, I am burning up. And look at this. You're obviously dealing with dead bees. Okay. So we're going to grab this last frame, the 9th frame. We're going to pull it up out of here. It appears to be, yep, they're actually banging off of my veil and probably actually trying to sting me. I am in shorts, and I've put the frames down at my by my legs, but they don't seem to be that aggressive. You can see this is what a full frame honeycomb looks like that I put in, but they haven't added anything to it. There's no real reason for her to be on this frame. Quite active, quite busy. You can see them. I'll leave that frame where it was. Okay, guys, sorry. This is the problem with using your iPhone as a camera. It's so hot out here, the phone keeps going into temperature mode. So we basically got honey worked on, fully completed comb, but not yet filled. Honey brood, honey brood, honey brood, honey brood, unfilled. I think that leaves them enough. I am wondering if I should put one more in there just in case. They haven't done this one, and they haven't done anything on this one. Okay, let me think about it. Okay, guys, so now we're on to the swamp rats, and they are likely to be much more aggressive. Frankly, the Italians were the most aggressive I've ever seen them. I would say I probably got stung 6 times, and I got stung once that I could feel it, but you could see them on the veil stinging, and you could see them on my glove stinging. And that's unheard of. I've never been stung before, even during all of that conversion and all that stuff. So they are all just quite agitated. And so these guys are going to be more so. They've stung me the last 3 times that I've been here. So what I'll probably do is just look at this end and see how they're doing as far as frames, and then give them sugar water, and then close them back up, because trying to go through there and look for hive beetles and all that sort of thing is just going to be, you know, really upsetting for them. And so I'm not going to do that. This one, frankly, had far fewer hive beetles than it did the last time, even though they haven't been picked up on the Swiffer. So I don't know if they must be managing them. So hopefully this guy's doing the same. They're more aggressive. Maybe they've even managed them better. That's where we are. So you'll watch until the phone goes out from temperature again, because that's why using an iPhone for a camera sucks. Okay, lots of ants in here and lots of dead bees inside of the box. And more dead bees outside than there were in the other one. So this hive might not be, frankly, as healthy, and that may be why they're a bit more agitated. As soon as I open this up, this is when a bee has just come up each time, boom, right in the face, and stung me. So I'm sort of interested to see whether that happens again. But this time they won't be able to sting me, hopefully. I'm going to open this up and let the light in there first. And take this feeding tray out so I can look inside. Oh, they've got lots of space in there. Lots of space. Okay, so those girls are much more agitated. They followed me away from the hive over to where I filled up their food containers, stayed with me, coming, still banging against me. Went down towards the legs. Were very aggressive towards the hands, which are a little darker color. But staying with you like that, following you all the way, is not beehive, is not honeybee really activity. They just don't do that. They're not that defensive. So these guys are definitely got a different composition to them. So anyway, all I did was just filled up their water, checked their hive. They had at least 3 frames that were empty, hadn't done anything with. So I don't know whether they're going to survive, but they've got everything that they can have, and you know, by their disposition, I'm only half care if they die at this point anyway. So that's where we are.